really start his World Cup career until 1998. See, France didn't even qualify for 94, so they had some making up to do on home soil. Ahead of the tournament, Zidane was flying. Back-to-back Serie A titles and Champions League finals with Juventus, but things didn't exactly go to plan. In France's second group game, he was shown one of these. I mean, we were so busy getting angry at Bex for his red, we didn't even realise Zidane was getting properly dug out in France for the 12 days before. The French public demanded he be kicked out of the squad and sent home, but manager Aimé Jacquet held firm and brought him back 2 games later. After his return, he'd start every game until the final, where he was quite simply brilliant. He scored not once, but twice, and this was the moment he'd been waiting for. There was national jubilation, and all was forgiven. He was even rewarded with a Ballon d'Or to cap off a near-perfect year. France won the Euros 2 years later and so were red-hot favourites at the 2002 World Cup. But the table will tell you things did not go to plan. Now, come 2006, France, now captained by Zidane, are one of the favourites again, but they made hard work of it. They won just 1 game and finished second in their group, which meant they had to beat Spain, Brazil and Portugal en route to the final. Then, the moment we all remember. Zinedine, just leave it. Walk away. Zinedine, no! And that meant he became only the second player in history to be sent off twice in World Cups. France lost, but he still won the Golden Ball. As you can see, he was thrilled. Or furious. Zidane never played again, but across 3 tournaments, his story had everything. Disgrace, glory, infamy. We don't like our heroes clean anyway, do we?
Good morning this morning. Happy Tuesday. I'm Olivia Pizzaglo. You are listening to the early sports breakfast on talkSPORT. That was a big win for Middlesbrough in the championship. I think they needed that, sort of keep that gap from third place. They're currently 4 points clear of third place Millwall, and they are now 5 points behind Coventry. That championship title race is looking good. I'm praying that Super Frank gets promoted. On the breakfast show then at 6 a.m. with Ali McCoist and Gabby Agbonlahor. Boxer Richard Riakporhe joins the show, and then at 10 it is of course Jim White and Simon Jordan. But Nick, what have we got coming up over the next hour?
Morning, Olivia. I'm excited. We'll start with a look ahead to the World Cup. 100 days to go. We've got Arne Slot on whether the Premier League is boring to watch. We'll hear from David Gower on why England should stick with the out-of-form Josh Butler in the T20 World Cup. And we're asking for your first and best World Cup memories. Get involved. Give us a call, 03717 223344, or WhatsApp or text us on 81089.
Right, let's get into it, shall we? 100 days until the World Cup.
100 days is not really a thing, but it's just a nice round number, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it is a thing. It is a thing. 100 days is definitely a thing.
What's your... I want to know your first World Cup memory.
So my first World Cup, I've sort of got 2 from the same World Cup. 2010, South Africa. The first game, Shabalala's goal. Yeah. I just remember Peter Drury's commentary. I was 16, I was 16. And from the same World Cup, another one of my memories is the Frank Lampard ghost goal against Germany. I remember exactly where I was when I was watching it, remember celebrating, remember thinking it was a goal. So that was my first. What's your first?
Was that 2-1 at the time? Would that have made it 2-2? I think so,
because we lost, what, was it 4-1?
4-2 or 4-1?
It was quite a big gap, and it was like a game-changing goal.
I reckon we still would have got battered.
No, we wouldn't have. The momentum would have swung.
as you're rewriting history.
No, I'm not. The momentum would have swung with that goal.
England
Nick.
were getting hammered either way. My first World Cup memory that I can remember clearly is Ray Houghton lobbing the Italian keeper in USA 94 when Republic of Ireland beat Italy in the opening game. My best World Cup memory is still that Michael Owen France 98 goal where he takes it round about 3 Argentinians and Brian Moore's like, he's going to worry them again, Michael Owen. Oh, it's a wonderful goal.
I can't.
Michael Owen's shirt, he's 18.
I remember the shirt. I can visualise the shirt.
He's massive on him.
My favourite one is, I've got two, because the Kieran Trippier goal against Croatia, free kick, that like stands out for me as like a core England memory.
I jumped on a table when
it was just unbelievable, that moment. However, obviously I'm an England fan, but if I'm not an England fan, I'm Messi, right?
Yeah.
So the 2022 World Cup in Qatar will forever be etched in my memory. Gonzalo Montiel stepping up to take the final penalty, but just like the unbelievable World Cup final that it was.
Incredible. Martinez's save as well. Was it from
Kolo Muani, yeah. Obviously Mbappe scoring a hat-trick. So I think just overall that World Cup final was just unbelievable. But the fact that after all these years, Messi got his hands on the World Cup, completed football, for me, that's one of
and
the
put the Messi or Ronaldo argument to bed, I reckon.
It did. It was to bed anyway, to be honest, Nick, personally. It had been put to bed way before that. Yeah. But anyway, that just confirmed it for a lot of people.
Yeah, for me.
Right, we would love to know, thanks, Nick, your first and your best World Cup memories, because it is exactly 100 days until Mexico versus South Africa kicks off the World Cup 2026. 81089 is the number. Do not worry, because on talkSPORT, we have got all 104 games live for you.
The greatest and most prestigious football tournament in the world.
Lionel Messi pens the ultimate ecstatic chapter to complete his already extraordinary story.
It's coming back to a very different soccer landscape than back in 1994.
We've seen some inconceivable storylines. It's a red card! Zinedine Zidane sent off! We've seen some inconceivable scorelines. Played inside the penalty area here. Oh! 7. That's the best of the lot. Brazil 0. Germany 7. Eric Dyer wins the shootout. England have won a shootout. And so to the next instalment of the story.
I'm proud of the players, what they did. We're proud of what we achieved together. It was 3 amazing camps.
Oh, what a goal! Harry Kane completes his hat-trick. Scotland are going to the World Cup finals. Kenny McLean. There's a World Cup to be won. Mbappe has a hat-trick. He has his place in history. History for Portugal and Cristiano Ronaldo. He comes to Vinicius Junior. 1-0. Anyone could win it. Maybe it's our year.
I've just got shivers listening to that. I am so excited, and I think I'm even more excited because Thomas Tuchel is the England manager. Everyone knows the love I have for that man. And the fact he is leading England at a World Cup with the squad that we have is just unbelievable. Obviously, it's the 48-team World Cup, the biggest World Cup ever. 104 games live for you on talkSPORT. Mexico versus South Africa kicks us all off on the 11th of June. And of course, the final is at the unbelievable MetLife Stadium in New Jersey on July the 19th. England will be there. But the favourites for the tournament are Spain. England are second. England 6-1. France 8-1, and Brazil and Argentina are there 17-2. I mean, it's not a World Cup if Messi and Ronaldo probably don't play. I really hope Messi makes it because I love watching this Argentina team with him in it. Again, Ronaldo got injured, didn't he? Is he going to make it? Are Portugal better or worse with Cristiano Ronaldo in the team? And obviously Neymar as well, trying to get back into the Brazil squad. This is so exciting. This is making me so excited for the World Cup. 81089 on the text. Your first World Cup memory and your best World Cup memory. Scotland opened their campaign against Haiti. England, of course, get going against Croatia, who I feel like we play in every single tournament over the past 25 million years. And Gareth Southgate's former assistant, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, has picked his England back line for us.
My back four now.
Yes.
Reece James, right back.
Yep.
People who are fit, eh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love John Stones, but he's injured, so I would go with Gahey, and it would be Maguire or Ezra.
Yes.
One of the two. I don't know yet which one.
I certainly thought.
And then left back, the best left back that England still has, and he's fit now, is Luke Shaw.
Yeah, it's interesting, Luke Shaw. Obviously, he has started every single one of United's 28 Premier League games this season. It was 7 appearances last season, 12 the season before. So he obviously is back to full fitness. I personally think England's backline is going to be experienced enough. I would have Nico O'Reilly. That's my personal opinion, but we love Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. Check out our Road to the World Cup podcast with Matt Ford and Alex Brooker. It's available on the talkSPORT app or wherever you get your podcasts. Right, back to the Championship last night then. We spoke about Middlesbrough's win. It was an unlikely hero who stepped up to keep them 4 points clear in the second automatic promotion spot.
McGree, Conway, and the header on towards the edge of the area from Hackney. He's rolling Target, who scored again. 2-0 Middlesbrough. And the travelling Teessiders away to our right-hand side of the railway end are in raptures. Birmingham undone from Borough's second shot on target, and Matt Target is on the double for Middlesbrough, who are 2 up inside 25 minutes.
Yeah, for the first time in his career, Matt Target scored twice in a game, ending Middlesbrough's winless run. They're now 5 points behind Coventry, but more importantly, they're 4 points ahead of Millwall in third, but obviously hoping that Ipswich don't win their 2 games in hand, because then they go level on points with them. But a good night for Middlesbrough, and talkSPORT's Chris Owellamo doesn't think the team they beat, Birmingham, are consistent enough to make the playoffs.
It needs one of those runs, you know, like 6-7 wins on the bounce, and then you might have a little draw in there, and then you have to go back to winning ways. It's, you know, and they've got the quality there to do it, but I've just not seen it consistently enough. Yeah, they've been good at home, but then they falter away. They need to be able to do it home and away. You need to get that momentum of just winning games that they don't deserve to win. I don't quite see that.
Yeah, and we've got plenty more Championship for you tonight at 7:45. Ipswich against Hull is a talkSPORT 2 exclusive. Right back to the Premier League then, because is it getting boring? Well, here's Liverpool boss Arne Slot on this set-piece era.
Do I like it? My football heart doesn't like it. I already said once in this press conference, if you ask me, then thinking about football, I think about 10, 15 years ago, about the Barcelona team. Every Sunday evening you were hoping that they would play. And now most of the games I see in the Premier League are not, for me, a joy to watch. But it's always interesting because it's so competitive. And that is what makes this league great, because there's so much competitiveness. Everyone can win from everyone. Maybe in 5 or 10 years' time, things will change again. But what I wouldn't be surprised of, if you go to an under-16 game somewhere, you know, how do you call this, your Sunday league football? We call this amateur football in Holland. I wouldn't be surprised if you see teams completely being focused 16-year-olds on set pieces. That's the new reality, and I have my opinion about it, but it doesn't change.
Yeah, I actually agree with Arne Slot. I do think the Premier League has got boring, but is it a problem? I don't know if it's a problem. I just don't enjoy watching it as much as I did. I just like Arne Slot actually says there, that Barcelona team, I would every weekend watch them. And obviously we're talking about the greatest club side of all time, in my personal opinion, in Guardiola's Barcelona, and they were a joy to watch. Pep Guardiola's Manchester City are a joy to watch. Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool are a joy to watch. We're so used to having title races that are full with exciting end-to-end attacking football, and that has changed for whatever reason. Now, yeah, it's teams set pieces, and that is what it is. But on the flip side of that, is it just the teams that are struggling that are coming out and saying it's boring? I'm actually intrigued to know if Arsenal fans enjoy watching their side play football the way they do, and enjoy watching them just often win from set pieces. Do you care? Do you find it boring? Do you want to play more attacking football? I don't know. Because obviously Liverpool are struggling this season, and Jurgen Klopp's come out and spoken about it. Anthony Gordon did it, didn't he, in a Champions League press conference, because they were talking about the differences between Newcastle in the Champions League and Newcastle in the Premier League. And he was saying that, the Premier League is, just jewels, and there's more space in the Champions League, and teams play more attacking football in the Champions League. But again, Arsenal fans, I don't think Mikel Arteta will be complaining. And, Liam Rossini actually came out and said there's no right way to play football, and set pieces are part of the game. And on Sports Bar, Jason Cundy and Jamie O'Hara disagreed over Slot's comments.
I mean, for a Liverpool manager to come out and say that, it is quite damning, really. Because we can all sit here as pundits and fans can sit there and say, this and that about set pieces and football and, it's not like it used to be. When you've got a manager who's at Liverpool and he's saying that, don't you think that is something we need to be worried about?
No. No, because right here, right now, the laws are, no one's breaking any laws. They're only moaning because Arsenal's so good at it. If Arsenal were doing that and they didn't score any goals, no one's going to say a word. It's only because Arsenal are good at it and they're frightening teams.
They're scoring set pieces as well, Liverpool.
Well, they are. But I'm saying that they're talking about Arsenal. They're talking about what they're doing and how they are causing mayhem and a scrum in the middle of the goal. To be honest with you, Chelsea did the same yesterday. That's how we got our goal.
No, I know.
We did something similar.
But do you want to watch that?
From a corner. Well, I mean, it's a set piece. It's only one part of the game.
I feel like we just see more and more and more set pieces, more and more teams playing for corners. But also, Liverpool scored from 3 corners against West Ham on the weekend. So was Arne Slot complaining about scoring from 3 corners? Or is it just when Arsenal score from corners that everyone complains? But I do agree. I think the Premier League has got a little bit boring. Take me back to the title races between Liverpool and City when it was end-to-end attacking football. But anyway, that's just my opinion. But it is 100 days until the World Cup, which is very, very exciting. So we want your first World Cup memories and your best World Cup memories. 03717 223344 is the number to call, or you can text us on 81089. This is Early Breakfast on talkSPORT with me, Olivia Bazaglo. It's 5:17. Up next, we'll get the best of the back pages and we'll have a little World Cup quiz for you.
Your record at home is so bad.
Yeah. Well, I think the problem you've got with Spurs is there's a real toxic feeling throughout the football club. When you look at the top in terms of the ownership and the changing of some of the hierarchy there, Daniel Levy moving on, nothing has really changed, Ray. The reality is with Tottenham that they talk like they want to be a big club, but they don't act like a big club. They don't want to pay the big club wages in general. Look, they've made a bit of a shift in terms of Conor Gallagher, for example. But, you look at that January transfer window, that absolutely has killed us by not improving and investing into the squad. We knew going into that window we were absolutely decimated by injuries, but the board chose not to give Thomas Frank any kind of opportunity to really fight and try and see if there's a way out of his current predicament when he was struggling. And Tudor's come into a battle where, quite honestly, at the moment, I'm really, really unsure whether we've made the right decision. But at the time, he was a firefighter, but I think he's walked into Tottenham, and you've heard in there in the press conferences, I think he doesn't realise until he's got in.
I'm Olivia Bazaglo, and this is the Early Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. It's 100 days until the World Cup. We want your best and your first memories of the World Cup, 81089 on the text. Middlesbrough beat Birmingham 3-1 in the Championship last night to move within 5 points of Coventry at the top. They were top of the league a couple of weeks ago, but they ended a 3-game winless run. And Arne Slot said there's no joy in the Premier League anymore. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? I do think it's got a little bit more boring. I do. I don't think it's as fun to watch. We're building up to talkSPORT Breakfast at 6 a.m. with Ali McCoist and Gabby Agbonlahor. A few things then you need to know this Tuesday morning. Real Madrid have lost their second La Liga game in a row at home to Getafe. It means Barcelona maintain a 4-point lead at the top. Danny Welbeck's triggered an extension in his Brighton contract. The 35-year-old will stay at the Amex till the end of next season. And Leeds boss Daniel Farke hopes to be in the dugout for tonight's Premier League game at home to Sunderland after being sent off at the end of Saturday's defeat to Manchester City. He feels the red card should be overturned after he jogged onto the pitch to remonstrate with the referee. Farke doesn't think he did anything wrong, but says it's not something that will happen in the future.
I'm not light like a butterfly. I don't look unbelievably cute and sweet when I jog. Yeah, I have to admit this. So for that, the lesson that I learned, I will never ever jog on the pitch again.
Oh, Daniel Farke saying he doesn't look like a butterfly when he jogs. Does anyone look pretty when they jog onto a pitch? Yeah, football managers. I'm not sure football managers look pretty when they're jogging onto a pitch to say something to the referee, but. Thoroughly enjoyed that from Daniel Farke. For more on all the bigger stories, you can go to talksport.com. You can also watch us on your smart TV, Samsung, LG, Fire, Apple, basically wherever you are, Prime Video, anything, TalkSport will be there. You can send us a text or WhatsApp this morning, 81089. We're talking about your first and best World Cup memories, 100 days until the World Cup. Matt in Newcastle saying USA 94, the heat. Ireland players get handed bags of water to pour over their heads. Someone was booked for having a bag of water on the pitch. Bars said best memory, Brian Robson at Spain 82, goal for France after 27 seconds. Kieran has said my first World Cup memory was in the qualifiers, Beckham's free kick versus Greece. I was only 5. Was that a World Cup? Beckham versus Greece.
Qualifier.
It was a World Cup. Oh, yeah, because I was thinking it was the Euros. But I remember that iconic moment. Get in touch with the show, 81089. Your first and your best World Cup memories. Now we like to do a little quiz sometimes on this show, on Early Breakfast. So it's time for today's top 5. Right, Nick, what have you got for me?
It's a World Cup special.
It's a World Cup special, okay.
I want to know who are the top 5 appearance makers at men's World Cups.
Okay.
Going back to 1930, but you'd have to go back that far.
I was going to say, I will not be going back that far.
You will have heard of all of these players.
Okay, so the obvious 2 are Cristiano Ronaldo.
Correct.
Love it.
Number 5, 22 games. First World Cup was in 2006. Played in 2022. He's injured, but he's hoping.
Is he going to make it?
Question for you though: Portugal might be better without him.
I literally said that when I said earlier we were talking about if he's going to make it. I was like, I personally think Portugal are a better team without him, but
I think they are as well.
But if he's fit, he's going to play and he's going to start, isn't he?
He's going to probably manage the side as well.
Yeah. Lionel Messi, the GOAT.
He's top.
The GOAT.
26 games.
We love you, Lionel.
Same as Ronaldo. 2006 to 2022. Will he, won't he?
He better.
Well, it seemed like the last qualifier they played in Argentina, he said goodbye to the fans, but he hasn't ruled it out yet.
He will be there. Lionel Messi will be there. Okay, and I've got another one.
Yep.
I've got a third one.
Go on.
I've got it, but it was messing with my head for ages.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if he still is the highest scorer in World Cups.
Yeah.
Miroslav Klose.
Miroslav Klose.
Germany. Okay, and that's me done. I've got no idea.
2002 to 2014, so he played in that winning side as well. Very much a World Cup specialist.
Yes.
So we're missing number 2 and you're missing number 4. So we've got Argentina's Lionel Messi at the top, 26 games in World Cups. Miroslav Klose, number 3 with 24 games. And Portugal's Cristiano Ronaldo with 22. So we're missing number 2, a guy who's played 25 World Cup games. And also number 4, an absolute legend. These are two two legends of the game.
Okay.
Listeners will get in touch with you.
81089, help me out. Number 2 and number 4, the highest appearance makers at a men's World Cup. Okay, it's 5:25. Time now to have a look at the back pages. Nick, what's on the back pages this morning?
Back of the Mirror Sport, yawn, never walk alone.
Yeah, nice.
We've talked about Arne Slot's comments.
Do you think the press? Because I get where he's coming from. I don't think it's a problem, but I personally don't find the games as entertaining.
Match of the Grey on the back of the Star Sport. So yeah, Slot's saying most of the games are not a joy to watch in the Premier League. He talked about that peak Barcelona team, watching them on a Friday night or the weekend or whatever.
Trying to compare like that I said earlier is the greatest club side we've ever seen, and it's like if only. But then in the Premier League we have had teams like, think of the Man City Liverpool title races recently.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and there's been so many teams that have played so many
The last great football. Man City Liverpool game was it like 2017?
Yeah.
I mean, I think Slot's got a point here.
But how boring are Man City Arsenal games now? They're so boring to watch because they're just trying to cancel each other out. No one's going for it. There's no attack. It's just set, basically who can score from a set piece.
Yeah, I think that's it. They're all playing this percentage game.
Boring.
The training, the level of athleticism and the training of the teams, even the teams in the bottom half, is incredible. Like the Premier League has come on in terms of total quality. Like Bournemouth are probably better than AC Milan right now. And it's crazy to say that, right? But it's true. But yeah, you don't have, I think there are less sort of mavericks. That's why I like watching Ryan Cherky for Manchester City, because you don't know what he's going to do.
You don't have players like that anymore.
Exactly, like Jack Grealish, it was just coached out of him, and players are being told not to shoot from outside the box because it's a percentage game again. So we're seeing those like goal of the month competitions are not as good as they used to be.
Yeah. Oh, so remember back in the day, it was just like banger after banger after banger.
Yeah.
Now it's like,
Well, exactly.
You might get like 1 or 2 bangers.
Slot's got a point. Also, I like to see Liam Rossini sorting out the serious stuff, right? I've been talking about this for a while. Someone needs to. Rossini lays down the law at Chelsea with threat to drop players falling foul of refs. 9 red cards this season. That is a record. Liam Rossini has warned Chelsea if they don't clean up their act, they'll be dropped. He said,
but what's he saying though, Nick? Because they're going to be suspended anyway. So it's like, what, when he comes back, he's then dropped?
Well,
or is he going to miss another game? Like, how does it work?
I mean, maybe it's yellows as well, but he's saying he'll only pick players who are showing an improvement on the discipline front.
I think the issue here is the dissent. It's not the second foul that gets you the red card, because it's the first silly red cards of the chatting back to the referee.
Pedro Porro, I think he didn't even know he got the first booking at the weekend, did he? Sorry.
Pedro Neto. Yeah, he did know, but he didn't actually do anything to the referee. He didn't get in his face. It was a really weird first yellow card, really. But anyway, I'm behind Liam Rossini for that.
Good on you, Rossini. Yeah. Also, coaches could challenge VAR. This is Martin Siegler in the back of the Times. English football chiefs want to explore using a coach's challenge for subjective VAR decisions to see if it would reduce delays. It's something like it's used in cricket. Each team get 2 or 3 challenges every innings, and if they think a decision is really bad, then the captain can challenge it. Maybe they're bringing this in possibly for managers. American football's NFL's got something similar. Rugby League, Super League as well. What do you reckon about? Good idea?
Can the managers see a replay before they challenge it? Because they've got those little monitors where they can see a challenge as soon as it's happened.
Good point.
So if you can look at it in slow-mo and see what's happened and then challenge it, I'm not sure that's fair. I feel like you have to make a decision.
Well, in cricket, there's a 10-second time limit. So once the umpire makes a decision, then the captain has 10 or 15 seconds to decide whether he wants to challenge it or not. So I think
that's going to get messy. I'm not sure I agree with that. I think there are changes that need to be made, but I just don't know if I don't know if I agree with that. Do you?
I think it's a good idea. I reckon, actually, that each team should have maybe 3 challenges a game and leave it at that. Yeah. And then teams...
Or 1.5.
Because
I think 1.5. Because
we've seen more than one bad
decision. Yeah, but you don't want... I just think you can't have two decisions a half. A lot of the time, there is one big decision in football. I think it should be 1.5. You get 1.5.
But it could work. Maybe. They're also looking at daylight offsides, which might be a bad idea.
No, I don't like that at all.
Defences will drop really deep if that happens.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah. I don't like that at all. It's just going to encourage more players to just sit behind the ball.
You know what the answer is? Get rid of it. Get it gone.
Premier League clubs, you know what to do.
All right.
Thank you very much, Nick. That was a review of this morning's back pages for talkSPORT's Nick Ellerby. Right, it is just coming up to 5:30. You're listening to Early Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT with me, Olivia Bazaglo. Up next, we'll have some fun with the front pages, and you can win a VIP suite at the cricket this summer. How about that?
Got a lot of time, a lot of respect for you, as much as I've got a lot of respect for Emmanuel Petit. But for you to say it's either you've got your ears shut and your eyes shut, not to know that. I'll give you a perfect example. A lot of the fans have not explained it properly. Emmanuel Petit is bang on right, and so is Martin Keown. But Petit's probably not explained it right to use. But if you look at it right, even going back as far as Adrian Durham, when Arsenal, under Arsene Wenger, who's one of the greatest managers ever, who, I said this to you before, Simon, who had his arms tied behind his back at some stages, had to sell our best
Your own
players.
fans ate your manager at the end.
No. Simon, this is where you get it all wrong, mate.
Oh,
right?
they didn't then.
No, I'll tell you why you get it wrong. Arsenal are the biggest supported club in London, right?
Yep.
Behind Manchester United and Liverpool, they're one of the biggest supported clubs around the world. Man United and Liverpool have got the most, then it's Arsenal. It's a known fact.
Yep.
Social media and Arsenal fans on social media is what's caused all this poison. And you said it, Simon, right? You just said it earlier.
Yeah.
You said there ain't a thing against.
When we talk about true World Cup icons, few names hit quite like Ronaldo, Luis Nazario de Lima, or as we all know him, Ronaldo, the phenomenon that was and is R9. Ronaldo's World Cup story begins in 1994 when he was just 17. Look at that kid. Oh. Sadly, his wasn't put to much use. He didn't play a single minute, but he was part of the squad that lifted the trophy in the USA. Fast forward to France, 98, and everything has changed. Ronaldo is now the best player in the world, a Ballon d'Or winner, and Brazil's main man. He scores 4 goals in the tournament and carries them to the final. Then comes one of the most infamous days in World Cup history. Hours before kickoff, Ronaldo suffers a convulsive fit, but doctors find nothing out of the ordinary. He insists on playing, but he's clearly not himself. Brazil lose 3-0. To this day, we still don't know what happened, and neither does he. Had the football gods begun to turn against him? Just look at the effect 2 major knee injuries had on his career. 53 appearances in 4 years. But then came 2002, and one of the greatest comebacks in football. By the time Brazil had reached the semis, he'd scored 5 in 5, but he was fed up with injuries being the main talking point. So while ritualistically shaving his head before the semi with Turkey, he left the front to create a talking point, and maybe the most iconic World Cup trim was born. He scored against Turkey and then got 2 in the final to help Brazil to win a 5th World Cup, secure the Golden Boot, and later on another Ballon d'Or. Now, by Germany in 2006, a 29-year-old Ronaldo was no longer the explosive phenomenon of his youth, the scars of his past there for all to see. But he still scored 3 and became, at the time, the tournament's all-time top scorer. In total, Ronaldo played in 4 World Cups, scored 15 goals, reached 3 finals, and lifted the trophy twice. That is legendary stuff.
always love this part of the show. I wish you could see what I can see in front of me in the studio here. This is the Early Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT with me, Olivia Bazaglo. It's 100 days until the World Cup. How exciting. Thomas Tuchel's going to lead England to glory, hopefully. We've been asking you for your first memories of the World Cup and your best memories of the World Cup, 81089 on the text. It was a good night for Middlesbrough last night, beating Birmingham in the Championship. And Arne Slot said there's no joy in the Premier League anymore. Do you agree? Has it got a little bit boring? We're building up to breakfast this morning from 6 a.m. with Ali McCoist and Gabby Agbonlahor. Some of your headlines then this Tuesday morning. Liverpool have the chance to climb to fourth if they can make it 4 Premier League wins at bottom side Wolves this evening. Everton host strugglers Burnley. Bournemouth look to extend their unbeaten run to 9 top-flight games when they welcome Brentford, while Sunderland go to Leeds. All the goals as they go in for you on talkSPORT's kickoff tonight from 7 p.m. And there's another game in the Championship. Ipswich or Hull can go third with a win tonight. The 2 playoff rivals meet at Portman Road this evening, which is live on talkSPORT 2 for you from 7:30. And former England batter David Gower is backing the out-of-form Josh Butler to come good in the T20 World Cup. Butler is averaging less than 9 at the tournament, but Gower says his form can click into gear in tomorrow's semi-final against the hosts, India.
We've all been there at some stage. In my case, not for about 40 years or more. It's a horrible thing as a player like that when you know you're trying your hardest and everything seems to go wrong. The hope is that someone like Josh, with that wealth of experience and huge ability, will just find a magic spark and something will click into place come that semi-final on Thursday. But all these things always rely on a team effort, don't they? I mean, every interview you listen to at the end of any game, win or lose, but especially win, even if an individual has a fantastic day, they have this horrible habit of saying, oh, no, it's all a team thing. Mm-hmm. Actually, the truth is each and every individual wants the team to win, for sure, but they also want the personal glory because it's just so much better if you've had a good day.
For more on all the biggest stories, you can go to talksport.com. Whilst we're talking cricket, how does a VIP private suite for you and 11 mates at the cricket for a day sound this summer? Thanks to Pitch Experiences, we're sending you to their super box at the Oval for the England versus Sri Lanka ODI in total luxury. Fine dining, your own personal mixologist, private balcony and a Q&A with cricket legends whilst you watch the action. It is the ultimate summer day out. So for your chance to win, text WIN to 83338. Text costs £2.50 plus your standard network rate, or you can call 0343 418 7260. Lines close this Friday at 4 p.m. That's when you'll need to answer your phone if it rings. 18 plus UK residents only. This is a TalkSPORT promotion. Full T's and C's are at talksport.com. So for your chance to win, text WIN to 83338 now. Good luck. Also a banger. Thank you for getting in touch this morning. We had a top 5 quiz that I've asked you to help me out on. Record men's World Cup appearance makers. We got 1 Lionel Messi, 3 Miroslav Klose, and 5 Cristiano Ronaldo. 2 Lothar Matthäus, can't even say his name. Lothar Matthäus, Daz in Leeds got that, and Paolo Maldini, obviously. He made 23. Paul in a van, Forest QPR fan, Conrad. Thank you for them. Wrong answers. I actually guessed Pele off air. Guessed Pele, got that wrong. Oliver Kahn, Thomas Muller, Luka Modric, all wrong. So they are the top 5. Thank you to Daz in Leeds, Paul and Conrad for the other 2 answers. Today we're talking about your first and best World Cup memories. We have Chris, our Arsenal fan that's called up. Morning, Chris.
Good morning, Olivia.
How are you?
I left you alone yesterday.
I was thinking you might have called up yesterday morning, but maybe not. I'm glad you didn't.
No, I did call, but I didn't know. I'm not one to rub it. It was a terrible game. Just literally, they're going to give me a heart attack, this lot. 45 plus 2, and then 90th minute, try to throw it away. No game management, as we talk about all the time.
All the time. Anyway, you got 3 points. No one cares anymore. Let's...
Yeah, I'm not going to go. It was terrible. But, yeah, before we go to the World Cup, can I just have 1 minute on set pieces?
Quickly.
when you get a corner in any level of football, in any country, in any world, any age, what is the objective when someone puts the ball in the box?
Yeah, to score a goal.
And that's it.
Yeah. No, I don't necessarily mind it. I don't mind it. Set pieces are part of the game. What I don't like is all the like rugby tackling in the box and all the.
Oh yeah, it's the jostling, but they'll never crack down on it because there's 12 players doing it.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, if you've got to give one, you've got to give them all. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Okay.
Again, now, it's been coached out. The players are told not to do certain things now. That's why the game's not as entertaining as it used to be. Anyway.
Yeah. I agree. World Cup memories then. Your first and your best. Let's start with your first.
First, one game, and it sticks out vividly because my dad sat me down and watched it, was 86 Maradona. And I was only a baby then. But old enough to know. But he was showing me for two reasons about, one, obviously the handball, and two, the genius of the second goal.
Yeah.
But 1990... Nessun Dorma, Italia 90. Every time I hear that song now still, Scalacci, Gascoigne, Klinsmann, it comes back.
Yeah.
The best moments will be the same as Nick, Michael Owen 98.
Nice, love it.
And then the David Beckham redemption from that game in 98, when we played Argentina in the group phase in Japan, and he'd come back from his broken foot, Uri Geller, all rubbing his foot in the sun and on the paper and healing him. If you don't, you won't. And he scored the penalty. We beat them 1-0 to knock Argentina out.
Love it.
So, but we're still hoping. So when I get to about 80 and we've won it, in about 45 years' time, hopefully we'll have a better memory than that. But yeah, Owen and Beckham would be my favourites, and Maradona would be the first.
Chris, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, we'll get beat by Brighton on Wednesday, and I'll call you Thursday.
Yeah, hopefully. Have a lovely day. Thank you for getting in touch this morning. Plenty of you have. Adrian and Stephen had just texted in. First World Cup memory was Brian Robson scoring against Spain in 82. After that, I was hooked on World Cups. Jake, my junior school opened early in 2002 so we could watch England versus Brazil. And Ronaldinho scored that goal versus David Seaman. Sammy, best memory is Michael Owen's wonder goal in 98. Seeing Beckham hang out to dry was tough, though. Dave in Sutton, first World Cup memory is Ray Houghton's winner for Republic of Ireland versus Italy in USA 94. Best one is Robbie Keane's equaliser versus Germany in 2002 and watching Mick McCarthy's face as the attack was happening. Guy in Brighton saying best memory are the immortal words of Kenneth Wolstenholme. They think it's all over. It is now. Oh, guys, I've actually loved this morning. 81089 on the text, your first and your best World Cup memories. It's 100 days until the World Cup. Right, it's 5:43. It's time now for this.
It's a front page throwdown.
Oh, what a move.
The front page is first on the early sports breakfast. Talk Sport.
I can't believe I butchered Lothar Matthäus' name. That's not good.
He will forgive you, I'm sure.
He hopefully will forgive me.
He's been in trouble for tax reasons.
Oh, has he?
Won't go into that.
No. Let's not go into that. Let's focus on the back pages. Front pages, shall we, Nick? What's going on the front page?
All right. Have you ever worn any mad outfits?
Define mad outfit.
Costume, like fancy dress.
Like people go like to Comic Con and stuff and wear like mad outfits. No, I don't really wear like
furries.
No.
Peppa Pig fans are in for a treat at this year's London Marathon. Daddy Pig has signed up to run. George Pig is moderately deaf, so he's going to be raising funds for the National Deaf Children's Society.
Oh my gosh.
April the 26th. Emma B from Virgin is running for the first time.
Nice.
Get behind her as well.
Love it. I'm actually going to the London Marathon for the first time. One of my best friends is running it. So yeah, hats off to everyone, by the way, because there is no way I could do anything like that. So fair play to everyone.
Fans can track how the runners get on. There's a special app, the London Marathon app.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's that great for tracking though. My mate's got an air tag, so we're gonna track that. Yeah, be a bit more precise.
Did you see that guy that was doing marathons with a fridge on his back?
Yeah, crazy.
Incredible.
Crazy.
Some of the stuff that people get up to.
It's amazing though, amazing.
Still haven't got your best fancy dress outfit though.
What's my best fancy dress outfit?
I dressed as Cilla Black once.
I need to see pictures of this.
I mean, I was very young.
How young?
Like 8, 9 or 10.
Why did you go as Cilla Black when you were 9 or 10?
School assembly, we were doing like a skit on Blind Date. I dressed as a nurse as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, my history of
It's more
cross-dressing.
funny when you guys do it. I just used to go as Hermione Granger to everyone because I had a little fringe and like crimped hair. If you watch the first Harry Potter, I looked like, well, I didn't. I wish I looked like Hermione Granger. But
Do everything by the book like Hermione does.
yeah, very well behaved.
Good on ya. ChatGPT, do you put it to much use?
I don't. Now, my best friend that I live with will not be listening, because she will be fast asleep.
Yeah.
She uses it as like a relationship advice. So like if she's going through, so at the moment she's like she's going on a date with this guy, and I hope he's not listening.
Shout out if he is.
She like messages ChatGPT as if she's talking to like me. And they're like having a conversation back and forth about like the messages he sent, and I'm like, you are what? That is wild. And she's actually not the only one. Another one of my friends does it as well.
So they put the guy's messages into ChatGPT.
So screenshots, put them into ChatGPT.
And what, ask for some sort of
ask for some advice, ask what she should reply, ask what. I'm like, you are. Nah, it's so weird. And I say to her, I was like, you're mental. We were sat there on the sofa the other day. She's having a conversation. She's like laughing at her phone, and she's laughing at messages ChatGPT has sent her.
Does she feel like she has this relationship with ChatGPT now?
I don't know. She feels like she has a friendship with ChatGPT and it will give her good advice.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
A friendship.
No, it's not acceptable.
Boy George has revealed he's writing his new songs with AI. The Karma Chameleon singer, who apparently is going to enter the Eurovision Song Contest for San Marino, by the way. Yeah, that's a separate story. He uses ChatGPT to write lyrics. 64-year-old, always got to give the ages. Was the lead singer of Culture Club. He said he's fed up of writing songs the old-fashioned way. Have you ever used ChatGPT for like a speech or anything like that?
I actually don't use I use ChatGPT to like find out things. Like if I've got if I want to Google, basically if I want to Google something, I just use ChatGPT. But
it can hallucinate answers.
You can what?
It can hallucinate facts and answers, and it can give you wrong information.
Oh.
You want to be careful with that.
Yeah, I don't use it, to be honest. I actually don't use it very often, but I know you can get absolutely anything. Just type in, I would like this, and then it just does it for you. Crazy.
It is mad. Very quickly, last question. Who's your favourite Spice Girl?
Baby Spice, Emma Bunton.
Why?
Well, I say that. I actually went as Sporty Spice to like loads of fancy dress parties. But I don't know, there's something about Baby Spice, I think.
I used to like Posh and Scary. Spice Girls are being celebrated on official coins produced by the Royal Mint. 30 years since Wannabe.
What a banger. What a banger. They are Oasis or Spice Girls.
What for? Go and see them live?
Just like, which band you picking?
Not that bothered.
Cool, good chat. Cheers, Nick. Thank you very much. All right, it's going up to 5:48. This is Early Breakfast with me, Olivia Bazaglo. Up next, we'll look ahead to tonight's Premier League and Championship games. 81089 on the text, your World Cup memories, your best and your first, and Spice Girls or Oasis, because Nick didn't want to talk to me.
Chelsea are winless against Arsenal. In 8 league games against Arsenal, Chelsea have lost 5 and drawn 3, scoring 6, conceding 15. Arsenal also won both legs of the Carabao Cup semi-final this season between the sides. So, I mean, you have to go back a long, long way
Abramovich.
when Chelsea did anything against Arsenal. You're right, Emmanuel. And here's the thing. Chelsea's co-owner, Todd Bowley, has been speaking about this. He spoke at the iConnections conference on their arrival in English football.
Having taken over in the circumstances we did, basically the whole management team left.
Yeah.
Right? So you know, I was stuck being interim sporting director for a summer, having no idea what made a good football player.
Yeah, right.
But knowing that, Mark Cucurella, if Man City wants him, I want him.
Yeah, right.
It was really simple that way.
That's pretty simple.
He says, Simon, the whole management team left. Well,
I'm Olivia Pizzaglo. This is the Early Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. It's 100 days till the World Cup. We've been asking you your first memories and your best memories of that. We're building up to breakfast at 6 a.m. with Ali McCoist and Gabby Agbonlahor. Now, we have a very special caller, actually. Mark has called in, the England fan. Now, Mark, we've had plenty of people giving our texts on their favourite, their best World Cup memories and their earliest. I think your best World Cup memory will beat them all. Please tell everyone what it is.
Well, it's Wembley, and it's 1966. 60 years ago, I was 7 years old. I remember everything vividly. It's when I fell in love with football. I remember Nobby Stiles with his no front teeth. I remember Jeff Hurst. I remember the Russian linesman. It was just a magical day, and I actually remember the sitting room, the family sitting room, which we left years ago in a biscuit barrel with chocolate biscuits in it, and running up and down the living room with my brother. It was the most magical of times, and that's when I fell in love with football.
I cannot believe you actually, that to me is just incredible. Can you remember celebrating how you celebrated with your family?
Yeah, I was 7. My elder brother was 11, and I remember I was sitting on his shoulders, running around the house, going absolutely mental. I mean, it was, and I also remember that, like, wondering where, in the early stages, who was Uruguay? Where was that country? Who were Korea? Eusebio wearing Puma boots and stuff. It's just, I remember it all so vividly, and why wouldn't I?
Oh, Mark, that is incredible. Just one quick question before we go. Obviously, you remember England winning the World Cup. Not many of us will remember that. Can England do it at this World Cup, do you think?
I do, and I agree with you, Olivia. I think we've got the players. That's one thing. We've got players in depth, but we've got Tuchel, and Tuchel shouldn't be underestimated. He knows what he's doing.
Mark, me and you are on the same wavelength. Thank you so much for calling in this morning. Yeah, that World Cup memory beats everyone's. Mark remembers he was 7 years old when England won the World Cup in 1966. And remember, every game of this World Cup in 2026 is live for you on talkSPORT this summer. Gosh, getting all excited. Right, today on talkSPORT, then we have kick-off with Adrian Durham. That's from 7 p.m. on talkSPORT. All the goals as they go in from the Premier League, FA Cup, EFL, Virtue Trophy, semi-final. You've got Wolves, Liverpool, Leeds, Sunderland, Everton, Burnley, Bournemouth, Brentford as well. Wolves have the first 2 home games against Liverpool this week. They, of course, host them in the Premier League, and then Friday's FA Cup 5th round tie as well. Boss Rob Edwards says their opponents appear to be getting stronger at this stage of the season.
Every game for them now is about winning, because they whether it's about Champions League qualification or winning trophies, that's what they're used to doing. So, we're preparing for the best of them over these next 2 games, and I'm sure that's what we'll get.
Yeah, Liverpool have got stronger, but I also believe Wolves have got stronger. as the season's gone on. You can definitely see an improvement under Rob Edwards. So that's one of the games. Wolves-Liverpool is an 8 o'clock kickoff tonight. You've got 3 other games all kicking off at 7:30. That's Bournemouth-Brentford, Everton-Burnley and Leeds-Sunderland. Scott Parker insists Burnley's spirit is still strong despite their perilous position in the Premier League, 8 points from safety with 10 games to go ahead of this evening's trip to Everton. Parker can't say if they're still up, they'll stay up, but is encouraged by the players' attitude.
What I do know is there's a foundation and a core foundation in this group that was going to put us in incredible stead, them individually as professional athletes and us as a team, really.
Well, Brentford supporters are dreaming of Europe. Manager Keith Andrews says they are right to, but has warned his players to keep their focus. I'm actually at that game tonight. I'm doing a Bournemouth against Brentford. I think it'll be a really good game. And Keith Andrews' side can move above Chelsea into 6th place with a win at the Vitality tonight. And Andrews is happy to see fans optimistic about their future.
They should be excited about where we've got to. I think the players is very different. I think that is very much game to game. It has to be. I think if you start looking weeks ahead and what it might look like come the 3rd week of May, that's pretty dangerous, really.
Meanwhile, ahead of their trip to Leeds, Sunderland boss Regis Labrie says defender Big Dan Ballard has shown he is constantly improving.
Last season, it was clear that he was able to reach high level, but the question in the Premier League is to do that every weekend and sometimes twice a week. And he did it so far, so it's key.
Yeah, the centre-back has signed a new contract ahead of this evening's Premier League match away at Leeds. Remember, it's not just Premier League. We've got Championship for you tonight, 7:45, Ipswich against Hull as a talkSPORT 2 exclusive. The winner will go into 3rd place. Thank you for your text this morning, 81089. I did ask Oasis or Spice Girls. Jill, I have Jerry, Ginger Spice, Union Jack dress doll in a box. Mum said it would be worth something in the future. That is iconic. And Jamie, the lead fan, saying, first time listener, we're asking you for your first World Cup memories. I remember doing all the World Cup sticker books as a kid. I'm sure plenty of you will be doing that this summer as well. Thank you for getting in touch. Right, coming up on breakfast this morning then is Ali McCoist and Gabby Agbon-Lahore. Coming up, British heavyweight Richard Riakporhe previews his fight with Jamie TKV. Charlie Adam looks ahead to the World Cup, Scotland's first tournament since France 98. And Tony Pulis is on the show. You've been listening to Early Breakfast with me, Olivia Bazaglo. Ali and Gabby on the way.
It's massively disappointing that some Leeds United fans booed when Manchester City's players broke their fast during the first half of the match at Elland Road this evening. This was compounded by the fact that an explanation was displayed on a big screen inside the stadium. Pausing the game to allow Muslim players to break their fast during Ramadan has been an agreed protocol for several years now. It has been. It's been in place for about 4 to 5 years now. Emmanuel, in your view, I don't know if this happened in French football.